Dallas versus Boston. So in the NBA Finals, the Mavericks versus the Celtics. I mean, this is just going to be one epic showdown, and I'm just waiting for it. Both of these two teams have dominated their respective conferences. The Boston Celtics, I made a couple of videos talking about their path to the championship and their path to the finals, and I must say they have not faced as much resistance, and a lot of people in the NBA media are rubbishing their playoff run, and they're not putting a lot of emphasis, and they're not putting a lot of weight to them making the finals, despite the fact that the Celtics have gone back to the finals for the first time since 2022, where they matched up against the Golden State Warriors. And the story that I want to talk about is Kyrie's redemption arc. So when Kyrie was with the Cleveland Cavaliers, he went to the finals 3 times. In 2017, he requested a trade to the Boston Celtics. He opted out of Cleveland, and he's found his way to the Boston Celtics. And his tenure there was marred by a lot of injury and underachievement and a lot of controversy with regards to how the team was operating. So there are a lot of people who on social media have been sharing a couple of clips or a couple of videos of Kyrie playing in Boston, especially with quick emphasis of the 2022 NBA playoffs where the Celtics swept the Nets. At that time, Kyrie was playing for the Brooklyn Nets and got swept, and he had a lot of choice things to do. He did on the court. He flipped off a couple of people. He got fined a couple of times because of his actions, and the Boston Celtics do not forget what Kyrie did to them. And Kyrie, he's on on the comeback trail. He has been faced with a lot of challenges and controversy. The NBA media has not been on his side since 2021, since the time with the whole vaccine mandate that was put on him. And he tweeted that controversial tweet that basically ruined his career. He got dropped from Nike, but he got another shoe deal, a 5-year shoe deal. His trade value went and plummeted, and right now he's in the finals. But looking at his time with the Boston Celtics, it was so disappointing because in the first year, Gordon Hayward, he got injured. It forced a lot of other young players to step up. Jason Tatum at the time was a rookie, but he overachieved. And looking at how things panned out at the time, a lot of people had so much high expectations for the Boston Celtics, especially after they made the East Finals. They made the East Finals in 2017. In 2018, they made it back-to-back. So they've had a couple of deep playoff runs with Jaylen Brown there at the helm. So when Kyrie got brought in the mix, and Gordon Hayward, the expectation was to go ahead and challenge Golden State. But in the first game of the regular season, we all know what happened. Gordon Hayward, he landed awkwardly on that his leg, and he broke his ankle, and his career has never been the same since then. Then looking at Kyrie, he had his flashes of brilliance throughout the regular season. Then he got a very huge and gruesome injury to his ankle, and he was not able to finish off the regular season, including the playoffs. And it led to the rise of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and also Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart. Those guys really dominated the East, and they got beat in 7 games by LeBron James. But looking at how things unfolded at the time, there was so much expectation on that squad. With Kyrie and Gordon Hayward out of that mix, that 2018 playoff run, a lot of people said, if this team was healthy, they'll go back again and win it, and go back again and make the finals. And this is for the first time since 2021. But looking at what happened in the 2019 season, Kyrie had those subliminal comments that he was making to Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, the young guys there. In a game against Orlando, he had some issues when Gordon Hayward didn't pass him the ball late in the game. He blamed experience. At some point, he called up LeBron. It was a whole issue, especially when it came to that locker room. And a lot of people were just playing my turn, your turn basketball. And it was not the most healthiest environment. And all of that culminated to gentleman's sweep in the second round at the hands of the Milwaukee Bucks. And early in that 2018-2019 season, Kyrie, he went to the Boston Celtics fans and he told them he's going to resign, and he lied because after they got brutally beat down in the second round, he went ahead and took his time to Brooklyn, where he paired with KD. So since then, the Boston Celtics have always had an issue. They've always have had an issue with Kyrie, and they've always made it sure that he knows it. And at some point, when Kyrie was in Brooklyn, he didn't play because of a shoulder injury. But when the Boston Celtics were hosting the Brooklyn Nets, the Boston Celtics fan base made it clear that they really did not like Kyrie. They shouted Kyrie sucks. They made posters. They made T-shirts talking about this guy. And they made the whole environment unbearable for anybody, especially Kyrie. And it was so difficult because Kemba Walker at that time he was signed, and the Brooklyn Nets, got beat in there. So the Boston Celtics have really hated Kyrie, and they've always wanted to get their revenge. And sometimes they've been able to get their revenge. In 2021, Kyrie and the Brooklyn Nets, they beat the Boston Celtics in 5 games, and Kyrie did the most disrespectful thing at the time. He stepped on Lucky the Leprechaun center court after a water bottle was thrown onto him. That fan got arrested in the Boston Celtics. So the thing is, they've always found a way to just get under Kyrie's skin. And the way they treated Kyrie in the 2022 NBA playoffs when they swept him, when Kyrie was at the Brooklyn Nets, they really let him have it. And they were really toxic, and they made sure to let Kyrie know that they didn't like him. And right now, this might be the most difficult situation, because in the biggest stage, Kyrie, he got traded from Brooklyn to Dallas. Last year, the Dallas Mavericks did not even make it to the playoffs, but they were able to turn it around, and right now they are in the finals. They had a very good playoff run, beating the Clippers, the OKC Thunder, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and none of their games went to a Game 7. The Clippers series played to a Game 6, the Thunder series played to a Game 6, and the Minnesota Timberwolves series played to Game 5. So relatively, they made the finals, and this must be the most difficult situation for Kyrie, because given his brand new team and given his brand new situation, he's gonna face the same animosity as the boss in the Boston Celtics fan base, because these people do not forget, and they're going to make it so unbearable for this man to be able to operate. And honestly, it just builds up to the anticipation and excitement that we're going to receive, because Kyrie's playoff run and his postseason run with the Dallas Mavericks has been nothing short of sensational. He has had his great moments, especially with the whole squad being behind him, and having a good coach in Jason Kidd, and also his friend and partner in Luka Doncic. They have been able to make a tear throughout the Western Conference. And looking at Luka Doncic, this is his second trip to the West Finals, and right now, as we speak, he's about to make history in the biggest stage. And the NBA Finals are the biggest stage in basketball, because everything stops so that people can watch this. And looking at what the Celtics and Mavericks have done in their respective conferences, I must say it's a beautiful thing to see. And the Boston Celtics have had a lot of rest, because they've been finishing off their teams in quick fashion. They have not pushed any of their games to 7 games, because they didn't have to, because the Miami Heat ended in 5, the Cleveland Cavaliers series ended in 5, the Celtics and Pacers ended in 4 in a sweep. And it's good, because this iteration of these teams that are playing, they're on fresh legs, and the finals are set to tip off in June 6th in the Boston Celtics. So the Celtics will host the first 2 games, because they have home court advantage throughout the whole playoffs and the finals. So it's going to be a very, very difficult crowd for Kyrie, and hopefully I'm able to see him just rise up those demons, because Kyrie, he hasn't been taken through the ringer in the past 2 years because of that anti-Semitic tweet and that a documentary tweeted on his Twitter, which subsequently led to him to be getting fined. He got subjected to some things by the NBA that a lot of people did not agree with, but given the things that he promoted there, a lot of people felt indifferent to them, to the point where Nike even removed his shoes, and they just contaminated the contract with Kyrie. So, and Kyrie was on an expiring deal. He paid fines were worth about $4 million. So it was so difficult at the time, because Kyrie was headed to free agency, and all this controversy were in his contract year. But the Dallas Mavericks took a chance on Kyrie, given all that controversy, and they were able to turn what was seemingly a very bad situation to something good, because a lot of people really did not like Kyrie at all, and he was in the news so many times until ESPN, Fast Take were really making a lot of hit pieces on him, and it was so one-sided when it came to his coverage, and a lot of people were against him because of what he stood for. But looking at all that in hindsight, Kyrie stood up for what he believed in. I'm not here going out there and defending him, but at some point through the years and through as time has progressed, I must say the dude was right. He was right in defending his things and defending on what he believed in. So I know a lot of people in the NBA did not like what he did, especially with that whole vaccine mandate situation. They didn't understand it at all. But given the whole situation, how it happened, I must say the NBA, didn't handle it well. Kyrie himself didn't handle it well when he was told by the NBA to apologize. But with all that turmoil, he was able to redeem himself with the Dallas Mavericks. And at some point, even Stephen A. Smith, a couple of years ago, he said Kyrie should retire. But Kyrie, when he's happy and when he's able to just find a situation where he's able to relax, he's able to produce the most. And I've been very much excited to see him just go ahead and just make history like that. So looking at this playoff matchups that he has had in this NBA Finals, I mean, we're just in for it. I just hope this whole playoff run just plays out all 7 games, because of the whole likelihood, because both teams are heavyweights and both teams are just colorful, like the way their colors just mix on the court. So I'm just gonna wait on to see that. I know a lot of people are optimistic with the Dallas Mavericks. I know a lot of people, especially the Celtics fans, really are rooting for the Boston Celtics to go ahead and win it. But looking at how the NBA playoffs have been crazy, I must say this is just going to be one of those instant playoff classics, NBA Finals classics. I know there have been a lot of classics, especially that 2016 one where the Cavs came back down from 3-1. But this one is going to be an instant classic, and I'm going to, make sure to make videos on if I can make it after the game on a game-by-game basis, I can be able to go ahead and do that. But if you have not watched the video where I talked about the Dallas Mavericks just winning, getting a ticket to the NBA Finals, make sure to check that video out. It's about out right now, so make sure to go check that out. But looking at the Boston Celtics, I must say there are 2 scenarios. It's either Boston goes ahead and wins it, or the Dallas Mavericks go ahead and win it, because there's only one champion that's going to be crowned, and it's just going to be so difficult, because I really want to see Kyrie just win and silence all the haters, especially NBA mainstream media. At that time, they really had a very, very unfair coverage of Kyrie, and they really did not like Kyrie, and they made sure to have a whole smear campaign talking about this man like that. But given how things have panned out, I must say I'm very optimistic with that Kyrie. Happy Kyrie is the best version of Kyrie. When Kyrie Irving left Cleveland, I feel like that's when Happy Kyrie departed, and we had that whole attitude era which Kyrie had. I mean, he got called off for mood swings. He had subliminal things he was saying, and a lot of off-court issues and antics really affected him. But looking at this season, when Kyrie Irving focuses on basketball, it's the best thing, because we're not getting any off-court controversy. This man has steered away from all controversy. He's not grabbing a lot of attention. I know the Dallas Mavericks are not a big market team, but given the bright lights that Kyrie has played in Boston and Brooklyn, they have not been the best. But given his consistency and just steering away from controversy has helped, there's a high likelihood they're going to get a very good version of Kyrie on both on and off the court. So yeah, I'm very excited to see this. I just said, let me just make a video and just vent and talk about this, because man, I am just so happy to see this. And yeah, man, hopefully we're able to see a champion being crowned. I don't know who you're rooting for. If you're rooting for the Dallas Mavericks, leave your comment down in the comment section down below. And also if you're rooting for the Celtics, man, who you're rooting for, I mean, you're just basketball has, the NBA is just it's just insane right now. So do let me know your comments down in the comment section down below, what you think about this NBA Finals matchup. Do you like it? Don't you like it? And also like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.